Welcome back to the podcast, Daddy's Podcast. I called out black men. I needed to talk to him, help get me through this situation with losing my precious gift. And I got another brother to come and sit and talk with me and help me out through this.
Oh, yeah.
But man, here, Coach, I'm just going to go and let you introduce yourself, man. Talk to him.
Hey, my name is Terrence Robertson. They call me Coach T.
Coach T.
I was Gregory's AAU coach. He played for the Illinois Explorers back in between, I want to say it was 2007 or 2008 to like 2010.
Hustling team, man. That right there, bro, for me. You know, like I put Greg in basketball, man, I think maybe about 4 years old.
Okay. And,
you know, it was my way to really keep a relationship with him because his mom and I, we lived in different homes, you know.
Gotcha.
So that basketball was a reason, you know, besides just seeing him and loving him.
Oh, yeah.
That was good for him. And not only did I just put him in basketball, though, I was a wrestling coach. I put him in wrestling.
You put him in wrestling?
He was like, nah,
I can't believe he was wrestling.
It was like that. He was probably like 3, 4, 5, somewhere like that. So every time I take the team to the tournaments, I have them that weekend, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So get on out there, you know, go roll around. And my wrestlers there, grab them and put them in some moves and stuff, you know, just trying to get them.
Right.
I actually took them to this wrestling spot, the Harvey Twisters, because they was like that team.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't going. He wasn't going.
I can imagine.
He wasn't going. That wasn't his thing,
like
bro.
that, for real? Nah, that ain't me.
Nah, this ain't what I'm doing, right? So then, but after that, but I put him in basketball before then, but just jumped to another. He was in 2 baseball teams.
Okay.
One in, I think it was Jackson Park over there by the lake where they built an Obama Center.
Yeah, I got you, yep.
And I grew up on 103rd. We had what's called Jackie Robinson West.
Over there in the
like,
Wild Hundreds?
The Wild Hundred, wow. We love y'all. That's what it is. That's where I'm from. But yeah, he was like, it's too slow, it's boring. You know, the ball don't come to me. You know, he just standing in the outfield, twiddling his
You say he needed some action.
He needed some action, right? So I was working at Washington High School.
Okay.
So I was talking to the basketball coach, like, man, you know, what's going on? Basketball, you know. So it's this league called High Five. And they came out with Young. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah. So I took them over there and they was playing around, running around, whatever. You know, with the kids, just with the ball, just running, having a good time. And then it was time to get practice started. They started blowing the whistles. Line up, come on over here. Lil Greg was like, I'm like, man, what you crying for, right? So I had to be the one, because he wouldn't pass, you know, the first practice with the skills.
Right.
Pass the ball, chest pass, bounce pass,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's some of the basics.
Right, the basics. So I had to get out there and do it with him. You know what I'm saying?
Get him comfortable.
Get him comfortable, right? So after I got him comfortable, they put him with another kid. He ain't turned back, bro.
Hey.
He did not turn back, bro. I ain't lying, man. I was like, oh, this is what he likes. And he just automatically, bro, just was like getting just better and better and better and better with it. I'm like, okay, so he liked it, so here we go. You know, I'm going to feed that. You know, I'm his pops. I'm going to feed that. I'm going to do that. The next thing I know, we met you, man.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad you all came by.
Man, definitely, bro. So just so my viewers are really like understand our conversation, could you explain like how we came together, how you come to meet me?
Well, how we came together, it's quite funny because we had just kind of like started the program back up before you all came.
Okay.
So we had played one season. We was kind of really not that good. We was real small, but so I was like, hey, I don't know what I need to do, but I got to go to the drawing board. I got to start recruiting and get me some players and stuff like that. So one thing led to another. One of the coaches knew another person by the name of Gerald that you all were real good with.
Shouts out to Gerald.
Yeah, so he had Lil Keith. Lil Keith was like one of the best shooters in the program.
Yes, sir.
Like I'm talking about from the big boys to the little boys. He can shoot that ball, right. And he was a little firecracker.
Yeah,
that was I call him my hit man. You know, when I need that stop or
get that going.
Or go in there and try to punk somebody, he's ready to do it. So we had Lil Keith. Lil Keith was like, hey, I got another buddy. He can shoot it just as well as me. I'm like, man, I don't know if you got another person that can shoot the ball better than you or whatever. He's like, no, coach, for real. I said, well, you know what, man, bring them on. Like, hey, so next practice come. I see this little skinny kid coming. I'm like, man, who is this skinny kid? You know what I'm saying? He had a little swag till he walk in, you know, kind of like mosey and like, oh, yeah, you know, hey, I do this. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to put him to the test, you know, so we started working out. I was like, hey, we not shooting no balls starting off. Hey, let's get on these lines. Let me check and see y'all endurance. They looking at me like, and then the other players like, hey, no, man, Coach T, he get down. Like you, hey, if you want to play, you got to know how to play some defense. You know, that scoring stuff, it comes. But we run, we attack and all that good stuff or whatever. So did all the little exercises or whatever. He was, you know, kind of like in the middle of the pack finishing. I'm like, hey, if you want to ride with us, hey, I need you to, you know what I'm saying, step it up. So I'm like, all right, I say, nah, this is what we're gonna do. So let's run up, you know what I'm saying, a little full court. We're gonna match the teams up. So we split the guys up and different stuff like that. So the first play, you know, he get a pass, he by the volleyball line, let that thing go. I'm like, okay. They'll say, oh, we got a little shooter. He shoot that thing from deep.
So like, how can you tell, like, on his first shot, though? That's his first shot you saw?
Yeah, first shot he saw. When I seen him shoot it, I seen the rotation. I seen how he, you know what I'm saying, how he let it go.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, yeah, he a shooter, you know. I seen him handle the ball a little bit. Got a nice little handle to him. I'm like, oh, okay. So next thing you know, we playing or whatever. He runs off about 8 to 10 straight points. I'm like, oh, yeah. I say, oh, yeah. So I ain't really say nothing at that particular time, but I'm saying to myself, like, hey, we got us one. You know what I'm saying? He got that it factor. I think he might be one of the best ones to come through this program. And I stamped it. I'm like, hey, and Coach White, he was sitting back like, man, who was dude? I say, hey, it's one of my new killers. You know what I'm saying? I say new killer. Hey, this is one of my new killers. And the guys, like the team, they just embraced him like right from the jump. And I see how he kind of like interacted with the players or whatever. He just blended right on in, like he was already a part of the team. So I'm like, yeah. So I told Gerald, I said, big bro, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I say, look, Keith, yes, you brought your homie with you. Yes, hey, we about to do this.
We love rolling with them West Siders, man. You know, we drive from all the way out south riding with y'all, man.
Hey, they used to come to practice faithfully. And I
didn't miss a practice, bro.
Yeah, miss here and there or whatever. And I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate you. Like, you, Gerald, Mr. Lilly, you parents, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all gather these guys up. We say, hey, we take 3 or 4 cars. We pack these kids in.
Yeah, we did.
And we hit that road.
That was so fun, man.
Man, and we was gone.
Really, man, I think that was the best, like, out of the teams that he played for in the age group.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it was just a hustling pack. We got the money together. We were like, all right, we need this amount of money, man. Who all can drive? And we got hotel rooms and
and what I liked about this, we all, like, if it was certain kids who didn't have, you know what I'm saying, yep. we didn't leave them like, hey, come on, we gonna make it work.
Yep.
We fundraise, we called each other, we called family members, hey, we got a kid that's in need. Like, hey, what you need? Hey, this kid need like $100 or $200 for this trip or whatever, for these next 2 trips. And without any hesitation, they're like, hey, we got you. Yeah. You know, we did it from the heart, you know. Yeah. And for those kids to experience the things that we did, to take some inner city youth, African American males, young males that could have been doing a whole bunch of different little stuff, but we took time out and took those guys, and they trusted us and believed in us, and we instilled in them like the discipline and different stuff like that. And they took that with that, and we just went from there. Man. And like you say, man, those 2 years, 2 to 3 years that we spent together, man, it was great times. Those young men has like built lifelong friendships and different stuff like that. And it's just like, and they still call and check on me. If they don't see me on Facebook, or they'll text me, "Coach, you good, man?" And then I had all of the players, you know what I'm saying, they'll call and check in with me. I had one moment with Big Keith, like when he was graduating high school. This kid, man, I kind of just broke down, because like one day he just called me. He like, "Coach, man, I appreciate you." He like, "You did some stuff for me, man. I don't know, like I could have been doing other stuff, but like you kind of like you cuffed me, like me and my dad and you. I played high school basketball together, and you told my dad like, 'Hey, I got him. He gonna be straight.'" And when he told me, like, man, like from him graduating high school, he like, "Coach, I just appreciate everything you done for me. You took me out of the city. Like we went all over. Like we played ball, something that we love to do."
Yeah.
And I built relationships with my teammates, even though we went to like different high schools, but we like brothers. Like we like one telephone call away. So a lot of the stuff that's been going on to piggyback on our group of the Illinois Explorers or whatever. Yeah. And throughout the group of the young men that we coached and we touched, we had about like from that program, from that like 3 or 4 kids, you know what I'm saying, was you know what I'm saying, due to gun violence. We lost, you know what I'm saying, like 4 or 5 kids. And it was rough. Yeah. And it kind of like took a piece of me, you know what I'm saying, like a, you know what I'm saying, piece from me, like, man, these like my boys, like when I get those phone calls and just like, man, it just like, it's like yesterday, like we was together, like, you know what I'm saying, just in the hotel. All they want to do is swim, play the video games. We
eat some pizza.
It's crazy because we had like about 3 or 4 hotel rooms, and next thing you know, it's all the players in one room sleep, like they on the couch, they on the floor, they 2 across the bed, 3 on the side or whatever. And I like, why do we get all these hotel rooms and these dudes? But it was that's how they was. It was like they bonded, and then we had this rule, like if one of your teammates go to the restroom or go somewhere to the concession stand, he better have 1 or 2 guys with him. You know what I'm saying? He never go nowhere by himself. And I made sure that I told them, like, if I see anybody there by themselves, we going in that parking lot, we gonna run. You know what I'm saying? So they already knew. So, you finna go to, I'm going with you. They already knew. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
That's the brotherhood that we built.
Hey, I noticed when I missed that brotherhood too, because when we was no longer playing with the Explorers, we was playing with another team. Yeah. Going to the hotel,
it's just like
it wasn't the same, man. It was it wasn't the same, man. Right. It was not the same. So that's how I knew that era. Yeah, that was a special era.
It definitely was.
That was a special era, bro. Yes, and man, you know, I'm listening to you speak, and all of the kids whose lives you had an impact on. I like to use Lil Greg's platform to talk about fathers, man. Is it like a father in your life that really helped make you into this great person, this great man that you are?
It's crazy that you asked you that, right? Like I've had like I got three that's like, you know what I'm saying, that looked out for me. That was just like an influence towards me. I grew up in a single parent home. My dad, he wasn't in my life. It's funny due to the fact that his family, like his sisters, my grandmother, whatever, on my dad's side, we were tight. We were like we were real close. They always, like, my grandmother on the weekend, she'll come get me like every weekend, like tell my mother, "Hey, my grandbaby, I'm finna go pick him up. He's gonna stay with me for the weekend." So I, like, throughout my younger years, up to maybe like 9 or 10, I used to just like go to my grandma's like every weekend or every other weekend. Like my dad, like literally stayed about a mile from my grandmother, and it was crazy. Like I can count on my hand how many times like I spent the night at his house, how many times like he came pick me up, how many times he came to my game. I'm talking about total, you know, on one hand, and it wasn't like he wasn't like a bad person or anything like that, but just didn't, you know what I'm saying, wasn't in my life like that. But like his family made sure, you know what I'm saying? So like my aunties or whatever, they like, hey, I don't care what my brother be doing, but I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, you good. So I got a little close relationship with him. And my dad passed away like 2 years ago.
Oh man.
And
sorry to hear that too, bro.
and we talked, you know, and one of the things that kind of like stood out to me with one of the things that he kind of like, it hurted me is when I graduated college. So my grandmother had got a ticket for my dad, like a plane ticket. So that's when like Southwest used to have those friends fly free thing or whatever, right? So she called me like, hey, I'm gonna purchase your dad a ticket with this friends fly free thing. So like my auntie, we all in the kitchen or whatever. So my aunties, they kind of like joke, sarcastic, like, nah, mama, I don't think you should do that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna come. And I kind of figure, I'm like, you know, I said, I don't think he's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? He might fake y'all out. So my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? That's her oldest son. That's a baby boy, you know, firstborn.
She love him.
Yeah, she got confidence in him.
Yes.
So she like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like he gonna come. So like, as the weeks getting closer to graduation time or whatever, and my grandma like, yeah, I talked to him. He said he's coming, this, that, and the other. So the day they supposed to pick him up that morning, like my auntie was dropping my grandmother off at the airport. So he had the day before they talked to him, they're like, well, he's like, I'm gonna be packed and this different stuff like that. So they drive to his house, they call him, then answer the phone. My auntie blowing the horn, ringing it over, he did not answer the door or whatever. So like my grandma, she like distraught, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I had to pick up my grandmother from the airport. I graduated, I went to school in Alabama State in Montgomery, but I had to pick up in Birmingham. So it was like about an hour and 15 minutes away. So me and one of my buddies go pick up my grandmother. So as I'm picking her up from the airport and she's coming out with her luggage, you know what I'm saying? She just, she really like couldn't even look at me, you know what I'm saying? I already knew what it was, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't disappointed because I already kind of figured, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't getting my hopes up. It's okay, my dad gonna, you know what I'm saying, go to my graduation.
Right.
And my grandmother, like, she got in the car and just like broke down.
Damn.
And it kind of like messed me up. Like, I say, Granny, I say, it's cool. I say, I'm straight. I'm like, I say, I wasn't expecting him to come because I knew, I kind of know like how he rolled. And she was like, I just believe, I knew he was gonna come. I said, Grandma, it's cool. Like, I say, you come out, you enjoy yourself. You here for my graduation, you know what I'm saying? You see your grandbaby, you know what I'm saying, finna graduate, this, that, and the other. And like, out of my dad's kids, like, it's 5 of us or whatever. Like, I was the only one that went away to school. I was doing, you know what I'm saying, positive stuff. Like, I got an older brother. He's doing well, you know what I'm saying? He went into like trade school. Then I got 2 sisters. They cool. They didn't do like anything past high school and stuff like that. Then I had a younger brother. Our youngest brother, he was the one that lived with him. Like, he had the whole, you know what I'm saying, father, I'm taking you to, you know what I'm saying, to school, pick you up and different stuff like that. And I used to tell my little brother, I'm like, 'cause I guess he thought I had like a resentment to him because he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like, he didn't have that relationship with me. I'm like, little bro, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying, get upset or just like have that feeling that somebody that's been close to me then just go away. I didn't have that. So I didn't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't feel that way. So it just was like, okay, hey, you know, it is what it is. So, but like, to piggyback with my grandmother, what I say, you down for my graduation, just enjoy yourself. Don't worry about that. And you good. So the 3 father figures that I had was like my high school coach Mike Oliver at Curie.
Oh, okay.
He was like
good people, man.
Man, he's like, Dad, that's like a dad to me. Like, when I first came to Curie, my mother was like, hey, you gotta make sure you take care of my baby. He's like, I got him. Yeah. So like, he was tough on me. Like, man, he was, when I say tough, but he's seeing that potential in me. Like, hey, he's like, hey, you gonna come over? Cause I'm coming from the west side of Chicago, Curie, southwest side. A lot of the west side kids came to Curie because he was like, hey, we starting this program up over here and we finna build from here. Yeah.
He had to put a good program over there.
And he was like, give you the keys. You know what I'm saying? Gave me that, like, hey, this show over here. So I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you these keys. I'm gonna be tough on you. And when I say he was tough on me, like,
what position did you play?
I played point guard.
Point guard.
I was a floor general. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing all this shooting the 3 ball. I served the table. You know what I'm saying? I was a hound on defense. We had shooters, you know what I'm saying, on our team. My coach like, hey, so I come from when I went to Penn, as I'm coming out of grammar school, I was averaging probably maybe about like 20, like 27, 28 points a game. So I get the Curie like, hey, you ain't finna be shooting all the balls over here like that. We got guys that can do the same thing you doing. And they 6'2", 6'1". Right. You 5'5" at the most, 150 pounds wet. You know what I'm saying? So he like, I'm gonna need you to serve this table. I had to get adjusted to it because I was so used to, you know what I'm saying?
I was definitely gonna ask you that, like to ask you to not to shoot.
Yeah,
how was that as a hooper? Because I never hooped.
Right, so
it was like, if I can shoot, I want to shoot.
It was like it was tough. I was, because I'm used to scoring because I was like one of the best players on my 8th grade team or whatever because I was playing on the 8th grade team since 5th grade. So I always played up.
Right.
So when those guys graduated, it was just like me and a couple other guys. It was our show. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like my coach like, hey, you put that ball up. So before I was gonna go to Curie, I actually was gonna go to Westinghouse.
Oh.
So Chris Head was another father figure to me.
Okay.
So Chris Head was another Chris Head
yes,
and Coach Lewis Thorpe who passed away at North Lawndale.
Yeah.
So those three guys, you know what I'm saying? Because I played AAU for Chris Head. Okay. And then Coach Thorpe, to piggyback, the first school I actually was going to go to was Hales Franciscan.
Okay.
Hales Franciscan, at that particular time, they was getting all the kids. They was getting a lot of the kids from the west side, south side, and different stuff like that. But my 8th grade coach was one of the assistant coaches at Hales Franciscan. So that's how I was going to ease on over that way.
Okay.
And at that time, it's crazy. A lot of people don't know Hales Franciscan. I'm talking about when I say they had all the players, the year before I got over there, this is who I was going, who enrolled in that and probably went there for like a week or two. You had Jimmy Sanders. He went to Westinghouse. He's like one of the top point guards. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Him. Who else they had? Oh, man. They had like a flood of kids. You know what I'm saying?
I want to.
Joel Bullock.
Okay.
He ended up going to South Shore and he ended up playing at UIC. I'm talking about when I say, because Coach Thorpe was over there, he's the dean of students. So Coach Thorpe, he had that West Side connect. So he was funneling the West Side kids to Hales Franciscan. So everybody's wondering, like, how's these kids? They had
a program over there.
How's these kids leaving the West Side finna go to the South Side school?
Yeah.
And the only reason why I didn't go to Hales Franciscan is due to the fact, you know how they say, well, we're gonna help you out with funds, like, you know what I'm saying, to help pay your tuition or whatever. And it kind of like at the last minute, they kind of like pulled it back and reneged what they say they was going to do. So my mother like, I can't afford, you know what I'm saying, to pay for you to go to Catholic school or whatever. Right. So you're going to either go to some of the schools that you got. I got accepted to Curie, all the other schools or whatever. She say, I really don't want you to go to Westinghouse due to the fact because of the violence or whatever. Then my sister went to Curie.
Okay.
So she like, hey.
Okay. That made sense.
And so that's how I ended up going to Curie, because even Coach Mike Oliver used to come to the games or whatever. And I told like, nah, I'm going to Hales Franciscan. So he kind of like backed off me. Yeah. So they ended up finding out that I was at Curie. I enrolled at Curie. I was in the building. So like all the other kids who was at Curie, some of the guys that played on the basketball, different from the schools that was at Curie. And they told Coach Mike, hey man, Lil T, he in the building. He like, hey, for real? He like, hey, this is what y'all need y'all to do. He like, if y'all don't have this kid in practice, you know what I'm saying, after school or whatever, y'all gonna run. I'm like, man, I say I'm coming tomorrow. Like, no, you gotta come today. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you ain't got your gear, but you still gotta come back there because we gonna get in trouble. So I come back there, so he laughing. He like, hey, like I thought you weren't coming. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I said, I'm here.
I'm here. Yes,
and my best friend, he played ball as well. But I don't know if he was gonna really try to play at Curie, but I came. I say, man, it's a package deal. My boy got to hoop with me too if y'all want me to play. He like, man, how you gonna bring somebody smaller than you? It's a package deal. Right. I say either y'all take him with me,
or I'm not coming.
And that was the rest is history.
That was cool, man. That's cool how you looked out for him.
Hey, I looked out for my buddy.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, then like with like I said, what did with Coach Thorpe, I played, you know what I'm saying, a few times with him, like with the little traveling league or whatever, and I just kind of like stuck in his back pocket, even though I didn't go to, you know what I'm saying, at that particular time he was at Hales Franciscan, and then he ended up, some years later, he ended up at North Lawndale. Okay. When North Lawndale started, like after I graduated high school and different stuff like that, and he definitely was just like, man, inspirational to me. Like him and Coach Mike Oliver, those are the ones, and Chris Head was kind of the ones that I kind of helped me start coaching. So I used to use, like my coaching style was a little bit of blended in from all three of them.
Got it.
So I had the the pressing and all that stuff, all them coaches love to press or whatever. Like Chris Head and Coach Mike, they was notorious for like, they got press. You got to get up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Coach Thorpe was like kind of laid back, X and O guys, and he'll, you know what I'm saying, dissect different things. He just like was kind of like, he used to, I say, kind of use like the reverse psychology to get you thinking, you know what I'm saying, about certain things. So I kind of use that when I kind of challenge a kid, and, you know, and so I got that part from him. So I just blended all three of those philosophies in, and that's how my coaching style was, and that's how I became successful, you know what I'm saying, coaching on the AAU level. So, yeah.
That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. Dang, that's an awesome story. Because, you know, I'm really not into basketball like that. I never hooped.
Right.
You know, like I said, I was a wrestler, but I was into hooping because I take the Greg.
Right.
Those three names that you said, they so prominent, good at what they did.
Yeah.
I knew their name, even though I never ever played.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Westinghouse, because he was at Westinghouse,
he's
right?
at
And
Westinghouse.
they were like dogs over there.
And
you know what I'm saying? And
like,
they were winners.
They was winners,
Yeah.
and he's win with talent. Like, he'll play with all guards and
they
win.
hustling, they hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like that mentality that I had for our guys, and I used to like try to instill like, hey, the only way we got to speed these teams up, you know what I'm saying, to get them out their comfort zone. So if you sit back and let a team just, you know, bring the ball or they dribble, you know what I'm saying, they comfortable.
Yeah.
You want to get them, you know what I'm saying, shake it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying. So like, they always say some teams who press don't like to get pressed, but like, we didn't care. Like, we pressed. All right, y'all try to press us. We're gonna break this press. We're gonna have a layup drill.
Right.
Y'all better get yourself together. You know.
Cool.
So.
Hey, so was Coach Thorpe? Was he started coaching in North Lawndale, right?
No, he started out. He started out, I think, at Providence. He actually graduated from Providence St. Mel.
Okay.
And he said, and I think he ended up. I think his first coaching job was at Providence St. Mel. So he was at Providence St. Mel. Then I think he left Providence St. Mel. Went to Hales Franciscan. And I think he had like a couple other little small coaching stints from like, I think Craig Ear and there's another little school, and then he ended up going to North Lawndale. I think North Lawndale was like 2000 when they first opened the school, like 2000. I want to say like 2003 or 2004.
So my question is, was the whole Explorers team about to go to? I know at one time. Do you remember all of them was about to go to North Lawndale?
Yeah,
who was the coach at that time?
Coach Thorpe was the coach,
Thorpe, right?
Yeah,
that was Thorpe.
I think that's what it was. It's so funny because
I remember all of them was talking about going.
Yeah, because like Coach Thorpe and Coach Mike, so they're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you got them hitters, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, we trying to send them over to Curie, or coach was like, hey, no, they coming over here with me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was like in between, and I said, hey, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's their parents, you know, I don't know like how they gonna go, like it's up to them, you know what I'm saying? But I think they was leaning towards North Lawndale because I guess Coach Thorpe used to be around more. You know what I'm saying? He'll come to our practice just out of the blue, like
he sure would.
Just
He'll
pop up. Yeah, exactly. Then he was like, he took over practice a couple times. You know what I'm saying? And ran the practice or whatever. You know, so and the crazy part, remember when we played Ferrari? He was out there. He drove all the way out to Indiana because I said, hey, we playing against. It was because Slaughter was on that side when he's on the side with Ferrari or whatever. Coach Thorpe was there. He came with his suit on and all that stuff.
Yeah, he always dressed like that.
He was real smooth with it.
Yeah.
And at that AAU game, like it was a packed house because it was like 3 or 4 games going on at one time, but our game was like right in the middle, so everybody was watching us.
All right, so where we at? What gym? What state?
We was Indiana. We was in Highland, Indiana.
Okay.
Playing Toy Bagler. She had a little some type of tournament or whatever.
Okay.
And like we was the 2 best team. We ended up meeting in the championship. That was a championship game. We ended up meeting them in the championship game. And it was like they was like, this is the future right here. The class of 2014. That was gonna be that class of 2014. And it was like Duke against North Carolina.
Man.
That was a great game.
Man, that was some great games.
Man.
Because it's like, to me, we were like the scrappy, play hard, hustle out, you know, and Ferrari had them names. Miles.
Miles, Paul White,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
They had them.
But we like, we don't need no name. We taking names like, hey. We like this how it was. Like when we pull up, cause y'all be like, coach, where we gonna go? I say, let me find a little tournament. Let me see where we go. Hey, this where the smoke at. We going here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sure? Yeah, we going here. So we let them get the permission slip, tell them parents, hey, this is what we're gonna do. Because we used to always have our little set out thing, like far as what we're gonna do, like turns.
Yeah.
So you look at y'all look at the schedule like,
we had the schedule.
Like, oh man, this is what I'm talking about, Coach T. You know, so we going.
Yeah, you had us going places.
We going to Cincinnati? Are we going to Cleveland? Are we going to Atlanta? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, and those and what I liked about that, the players, they were just so excited, like, man, we finna go. You know what I'm saying? They was so excited. You know what I'm saying? They 2-3 days. Hey, they called it, Coach, what time we leaving? You know what I'm saying? We ready. You know what I'm saying? So that was, like you say, those years, man, that was some of the best years of my life. So, and I still got like all them trophies, you know what I'm saying, in my basement. You know what I'm saying? I cherish the trophies because like it's funny because, you know, so I'm divorced now, but my girlfriend now, you know what I'm saying? So like it's stuff, I brought some stuff. I was bringing, she's like, what's those? I was like, hey, these my babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, we work hard for these right here. Like, man. She like, boy, I said, yes, I take care of these trophies. Like, we trophies. We it was first or second, nothing else. Like, we won a lot of first place. We was a runner up a few times or whatever, but like, we kept it.
We had that squad, man.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to the brotherhood too. Like when I said all of them was gonna go to Lawndale, that just speaks on like, dang, all y'all want to go to the same school as freshmen. So that really speaks on what you built. You know
and I always think now, due to the fact that like 2012, I ended up getting a head coaching job at Christ the King. On Jackson and Lamry's, like a new school that came in that was up and coming. And I always said, like, man, if I'd have got that job like 2010, I say I would have funneled them guys. I say we was gonna win a couple state championships. With no problem. I knew.
And they had been playing together like 2 years.
Exactly.
Before they went to high school. You know?
I know.
They had a good 2 years together.
Me and Coach White, we talk about that. I say, man, he like, boy, if you'd have got that Christ the King job in 2010, like right when they graduated, and we'd have got those guys there. The 1A and 2A schools, they talking about who won them state champ. We'd have got two of them. I just like kind of just imagine, picturing myself like hosting that state championship trophy. Like I was like thinking like, man, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I could have had the names of the talk of like. Have Rob Smith now, you know what I'm saying, with Simeon, because they was a bigger school, but like the school Christ King, they ain't had that many students, probably maybe like 200-300 students. It was a small school, but I was like, we'd have brung a powerhouse in there, like we'd have ran the table. We probably would have been playing like a national schedule. I think so, because due to the fact that like with Greg, TK, Big John, them, like those guys was household names, like, you know what I'm saying, and put us in a program like that and started, and they playing AAU as well, getting that notoriety. And then they probably got ranked in the nation and all that stuff. Once you get that ranked in the nation, we probably had at least two or three kids top 100, with no exaggeration, with no problem. And then once you get that, that's when you start getting those them schools or like places out of town. Like, we want you to come here. They're gonna pay for us to fly in, you know what I'm saying, play in a little high school tournament, you know. So that's how you get your, you know what I'm saying, your notoriety. So.
And they was doing that like without no like real training. You know, we was just out on talent and just hard and hustle, you know, and as the kids got older.
Yeah, they started to develop, you know, in different little stuff or whatever. So like what I say with Greg, I call him Mr. Second Half. It's just like he just was like one of those, you know, you get a player that come like once in a lifetime, just like that's like, man, you know, this kid got that it factor. He wasn't arrogant, but he just had that swag. Like, I do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I do this. Like, and like I said, like first half, he get his teammates involved. He just, you know, be coasting. And second half come, I get a look. Hey, man. You know what time it is? Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You done did enough facilitating. I got you, coach. And I'd have seen him first half. He had probably 2 to 4 points, quite a few assists, you know what I'm saying, a few rebounds. He did a little bit of everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I call him the stat sheet stuff. Second half come, it's on and popping. You know what I'm saying? You end up like how much Greg getting up finish with? Man, he about 30. Like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like 30? Like, yeah, he scored like 28 in the second half. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, man, I seen him. Like, we got the little thing on YouTube. If you can go back and look at it, like Coach Priest had made like a little video.
He sure did make a video.
Yeah, it's still on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. You can just type in Illinois Explorers basketball. Like with TK, all them guys. He just like, you know what I'm saying, like gave everybody like they little different little pieces. You know what I'm saying? That they
sure did.
And I seen Greg. I think we was in Garfield Park, and like this man did a move like crossed the ball over, put it between his legs, dude reached, put it behind his back, and then just like pull for three. It was just like all in just real smooth. I say, man, this kid is special.
I got a memory of that, and I asked Greg, how did he do that?
Hey.
Dude, he was like at the top behind the 3-point line or something, and the guy was coming the defender was trying to get the ball. He took the ball
behind his back,
but he put it between his legs.
Yeah, boom,
and brought it up with his left
and just pull up. Pow.
I said, Greg, how did you do that? He said, I don't know.
Like, and it was crazy because like a lot of the stuff he was doing, it was just like off the fly. Like it wasn't like I practiced this move. It's like, hey, I'm trying some new stuff. Just like I ain't never tried this, but I'm finna try it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was like. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
I was like,
you know what I'm saying? I just sit back, I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
I did that too.
I'm like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go back because like they used to videotape and I used to look at stuff. I'm like, damn, like man, you know what I'm saying? And why I knew that like he was special because I just kind of evaluate ball players or whatever. And when you can get to like any spot on the floor, you know what I'm saying, where you still comfortable and you just, you know, just real smooth with it, you got that it factor. Because like some people can't get to certain spots, they be, you know, fumbling and you know what I'm saying. Like he gets to the spot, especially like the mid range game, like that was his bread and butter, mid range. He eat all that up or whatever. And like today's game, a lot of they don't do the mid range. Everybody want to Steph Curry just eat to change the game. Everybody want to shoot threes. Yeah. But if you're gonna go on that, man, go eat in that mid range. You still gonna score 20 and 30 points. You get you 8 to 10 on no mid range. That's 20 points.
I remember that.
And then he get into the free throw line. He stayed at the free throw line all the time. Like he gonna get 10 to 12 points off free throws. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He was our primary ball handler. Like in the second half, we had the little point guards that was running the little show, but when it was money time, I'm putting that ball in. I call him G Smooth. Hey, G Smooth. Hey, get that rock, man. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, it was a blessing to, you know what I'm saying, him in my presence to, you know, to coach him, man. Like,
man, I'm glad you coached him too, bro.
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
Cause I should tell the guys or whatever. I just say I'm a competitor. Like so, like if I see you lagging and you know not doing what you're supposed, I'm in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it just to be hollering. Like no, I'm like I know your potential. Like come on, let's step it up. Yeah. And once they realize, like man, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So they got a coach that's gonna ride and die for them. They gonna run through it like they gonna run through a brick wall for you. Yeah. Them the type of kids you want. Like we gonna go in that alley, a dark alley. Hey, they gonna be behind me. I'm gonna be behind them. You know what I'm saying? We gonna duke it out. You don't want nobody. You look back there, they gone, they run it. Like no, like you know what I'm saying. So like I said, when he's come, we want that smoke. Yeah. Let's go get it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So they ask me, Coach, where we gonna go? Well, they be like, man, I heard about this tournament. Like, well, where? Yeah, they say such a. Okay, all right, let me find out. You know what I'm saying?
You'll have us there.
Man, we there. We pull it up there. First thing in the morning, 8 o'clock. We there.
Yeah.
Tell them guys, hey, we gonna be there, pick y'all up, or meet us here at 5, 6 o'clock. We pulling out. Y'all are here. Y'all can get left. You know what I'm saying? We gone.
Yeah.
So,
man, that's important, man. I'm just like, cause you know I don't really know basketball like that, but I've been around like different coaches. And you have coaches that really drive kids and bring the best out of them. But then I also been around coaches that didn't do that so much, you know. And you really need that coach that's going to really build that culture.
Definitely
because it's much more than just basketball.
Yeah, basketball's in a kid.
Person,
yeah,
you know
as a building character. So that's why I used to tell them, man, it's lifelong. I say, man, use this tool to, you know what I'm saying, get you a free. That was our first thing we preached. Like, hey,
that was my whole goal.
I say, you guys, I say, man, y'all 7th graders, 8th graders. I say, man, use this basketball to get you a free education. I'm like, everybody's not gonna go pro. You know what I'm saying? You want to, man, finish school, get your degree, make your parents proud.
Yeah.
Anything else after that is a plus.
Yeah,
it's a plus.
It's cake. I just wanted you to get to school and hopefully I ain't got to pay for it. You know, and that's what it was for me. Because he was good enough. He was so. I was getting what you call it, letters of intent. You know what I'm saying? Letters or whatever you call it from different colleges.
Yeah,
he was a freshman in high school. I'm like, oh yeah, we on our way.
Yeah, like man,
Northwestern, Illinois.
I just tell him, I say, dude, I say, man, right? I say, you gonna grow. I say, you gonna be about 6'5", about 6'4", 6'5". I say, perfect size for your position.
He stopped at about 6'2", though.
6'2".
Yeah, he stopped at 6'2".
But I'm like, I say, you got long arms. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I say, once you get your lateral foot speed together, you know what I'm saying? I say it's gonna be scary. You know, it's gonna be scary. I say you score with the best of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I out of the state of Illinois in that particular class, that 2014 class, I said, I don't see 3 or 4 players better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just flat out, just say, hey, that's. I say, man, I was like, I say this kid gonna be special.
And I see his name pop up on them. You know how they had Chicago hoops and all that. And I see his name popping up there. I'm like, man, you know, that I couldn't believe. I was like, damn, that's my child.
Right.
You know, so proud of him, man. You know, and going into that, man, January 28th, man, when he was, shot. How did you hear about that, man? And how did that go for you?
Man, I think I was at home just kind of like just chilling because and then Gerald reached out to me, called me.
Oh, Gerald called you?
Yeah, Gerald called me. Uh-huh. He like, man, you won't believe, man. Greg got man, no, man. I say, man, run that by me again. Like, man, yeah, Greg got shot. You know what I'm saying? Got killed at the barbers. And I just like, the phone I just went silent. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, man, I'm losing all my, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm losing my guys, due to the fact that we had lost Lil Priest, then with Greg. Then I played not the gun violence, but I had a player. He used to go to Christ the King, and I was refereeing. It was at Riverside Brookfield. It was like a big tournament, little AAU tournament or whatever. I was actually in another gym. He was playing. He collapsed on the court. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And I was wondering like what had happened, because like somebody, you in the gym, but like in Riverside Brookfield they got like the field house. Mm. And we was like in the back gym. But how news travel, like, hey man, there was a kid just passed out. This, that, and other, just fell out, collapsed on the court. So I'm like, okay. So next thing you know, later on that day, I get a call that like, hey, what you call, like, you know what I'm saying, collapsed on the court, like, you know what I'm saying, one of your kids from Christ the King. So I gave his mom's a call or whatever, so she called me like, yeah, like we're at the hospital. There's a Loyola or whatever. Like, yeah, like he collapsed, this, that, and the other. Like one of the nurses gave him CPR, like to revive him.
This is on the gym floor?
Yeah, on the gym floor. He just collapsed at the game. Like he was running hard, you know what I'm saying, and he just collapsed at the game. So moms talked to moms or whatever, and then she was like, well, they said now he's on a ventilator. I'm like, oh my God.
Hold on, what age? How? I ain't hear about this.
This was this was like 20. When was this? This had to be like 2012 or 2013.
Oh.
When I was at Christ the King. Yep. He's like one of the kids that I kind of like recruited to come or whatever to Christ the King, and it just like. I was like distraught. That was one of the kids we had. They ended up losing. They ended up, moms had, I know that's like one of the toughest things you can do to have to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Pull a plug on your son or whatever. So, like I said, it just like stuff was just happening. Like, even before that, but then like with the Greg incident, and then like recently before that, you know what I'm saying? I think I lost a couple relatives. It was like stuff just happened back to back. I was like, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't take no more or whatever. And then I just was like, when I heard about it, and I instantly, you know what I'm saying, thought about you. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like Like that's, you know what I'm saying, his baby boy. I'm like, you two, like, you see one, you see the other. You know what I'm saying? Like when you coming up, like y'all always was together or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember like a good moment that we had, like when you was standing out like in Olympia Fields. And all the kids like, we going out to Greg house, you know what I'm saying? They want to be in the pool, like that's all they want to do is go to the pool, like we want to be going to the pool, you know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
So I tell my some like my buddies are like, man, Joe, one of my parents, they got a pool in their backyard, you know what I'm saying? like they was like, a pool. I say, man. They like, man. They're like, man. Pops, what I say, bad. I say, bad. Just a hardworking black man, you know what I'm saying? That just, you know, that want the best, you know what I'm saying? That I was like, damn, that dude got a damn pool in the backyard. You know? Yeah, man, exactly. Hey, and the kids loved it. I was like, that's all they would do. We going out to Greg. We going out here. Like they gather up in that pool. That's all they would do, just be in the pool. And it was just like that brotherhood that brought them together, man. And I think about it all the time. Just when I just hear things or just like any good thing or whatever, like that's dealing with our kids, I'd be like, kind of stick my chest out. And a lot of people don't know, like now that throughout the Illinois Explorers like program, we got a few kids that's, you know what I'm saying, we got TK, he's currently playing for the Sioux Falls Skyforce or whatever. So that's the G League affiliated with the Miami Heat. Wow. So he actually,
man, shout out TK.
Yeah, TK. I think like when he was like on 3 different G League teams. I thought he was gonna make that crack with San Antonio Spurs. Like that was his niche. He was just Popovich loved him. Like he said he's like that Chicago toughness or whatever. Yeah. I don't know like how he didn't crack that. How
tall did he get?
TK like 6'2" now.
About 6'2". That's what I figured. I figured he'd be about 6'2",
but
he was strong. And he was fast. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, he ended up going to the South Dakota State. So he's playing ball. Then we had Paris Lee. He was on the league on the team right? above us.
Yeah,
he's playing in Greece. He's like one of the top Euro League players in Greece.
I follow him at I State.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of him. I follow him, bro.
Listen, man. Shout out to P Lee. Yes, I call him P Funk. This kid, I say, man, Explorer program. In the same year, he won the Conference Player of the Year and won the Conference Defensive Player of the Year in 2017.
Yeah. Was this at I State?
Yeah, I State. When he did that, I'm bragging.
Did he get him in a tournament or what?
Did they make the tournament?
No. But they was really close, man.
They was close. I think they lost in the conference championship game.
Oh, okay. And that's what happened.
When I found out he was the player of the year, I'm bragging. Man, one of my boys. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my boys. I say.
He had such a he'd get on T on you, bro.
He was the best distributor, you know what I'm saying, as far as true point guard and team. Like defensive wise, like I call him the human pickpocket. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
he was on that with
he averaging 8 steals a game. Like he taking it in the backcourt. Like, you know, when you good, when you can D somebody up in the backcourt, you know what I'm saying? Lock up.
Yeah. That's the level when we used to practice with them, you know?
Yeah, he brought it out. Yeah. If you don't come with it, he gonna have you for lunch.
Yep.
And then who else? We got Khalil Smalls. He ended up leaving the Explorers like probably when y'all got there or whatever.
Okay, because I don't remember.
He went to St. Mel, then he ended up playing for Wisconsin Green Bay. He's in Switzerland. Okay. Like in the top Euro League over there. So I'm like, man, we
what's my man name, man? Play. I think he played right side by side with Paris.
You talking about was it Wayne? Oh, TA?
TA, what's up with TA, man?
TA is Bear. He's coaching college basketball. Yeah. He just got his master's degree like a couple years ago. Like TA was like I know. Shout out to TA. TA was a player's coach. That's what I said. You're gonna be a coach. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like TA just did things the right way. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember his parents. He had real supportive parents.
His moms and his grandmother. His moms was kind of like how you all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the female version of y'all just was everywhere. All the games, you know what I'm saying? Very supportive or whatever.
Man. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Her and my ex-wife, they was the team moms, you know what I'm saying? So they made sure those boys like, hey, they gonna eat good, you know what I'm saying? They gotta sneak them snacks that they ain't supposed to be having, you know what I'm saying? The extra chocolate and stuff. Like, hey, we don't need that right now, you know what I'm saying? These boys got a championship game in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we had to fight with them. Hey, go to sleep. We got a big game in the morning. Hey, them
whatever.
dudes up 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
They
you know what I'm saying?
ball, man.
They wake up and they say, hey, we ready, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, y'all had that slow dragon coming out the game. You know what I'm saying? So
you will pull them out too. Hey, man, let me ask you why this kid name is on my mind. Oh, I hope it's good. You remember a guard, tall, Miami of Greg too, Isaiah. You remember Isaiah, bro?
Isaiah, yeah, Isaiah.
Isaiah, man, he was there for a short.
Yeah, Isaiah wasn't like everybody used to
nice.
Isaiah was good. So a lot of people they used to thought like Greg Isaiah was like brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of like favor each other. They had the same kind of similar game or whatever. Isaiah, I know he ended up at Triton. He was on that Triton team. They ended up winning. They won like the national championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they won a national championship.
Cool. I was worried about
and the JUCO Division II. I don't know like what he's doing now. I don't know if he went overseas. I have to check or whatever. But he was doing pretty well.
Okay,
yeah,
Isaiah. That's good. That is good.
Isaiah's cool. Yeah, Isaiah. Yeah, I forgot about Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah, because he came that short. He came near the end of me.
Yeah. Isaiah was good. Then he's like he blossomed. Like he was like a late bloomer. You know what I'm saying? Like once he got to high school, he was special.
Good, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, so I want to ask you, a legacy that you want the people that you saw that,
Man, the legacy like with Greg, hey, first of all, leadership. He was just a natural born leader. Like people just like gravitated to him, Man, I just can't keep, saying that leadership, and he always he was like the type of person I would say like he'll give you his last. He always looked out, for his teammates. We had kids, that came from, parents, certain situations, it was kind of like, like a financial burden, didn't have certain things or whatever. And I used to see Greg, Keith, Lil Keith, who else? They'll, like they'll use their own money, like, come on man, let's go grab it, grab these little extra snacks or whatever, because they'll call, first Greg and Keith, they'll go to you or Gerald or whatever, hey man, you get some money, how much you need? They're like, how much you need? You would pull out the little file, like, no, run that little 20, So they get that little $20, they get that $20 bill, right? But they gonna make sure they whole team, because I always taught them like, hey, if one got, we all got, you know what I'm saying? And they'll make sure like, hey, if we go to McDonald's or something like that, hey, we gonna get this dollar menu, hey, get them daily doubles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we did that.
We gonna get 5 daily doubles, 5 fries, you know what I'm saying? The drink or get some courtesy water, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like they did that for one another, and I seen that like that. That was like one of the things, like definitely, like his legacy, man, is always gonna live through the explorers, like, you know what I'm saying? He's like one of the pillars, you know what I'm saying, to help build the program. Man. And like, man, that legacy is gonna, you know what I'm saying, go a long way. That definitely that leadership. Just I'll say, man, he was a jokester, you know what I'm saying? Like that dude, man, like him and Keith, like they get under your skin. But they they gonna get under your skin, but man, they gonna ride or die, you know what I'm saying, for they teammates. They gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, they always was together, like like that brotherhood. They still, you know what I'm saying, they still had it, like even though like a lot of the kids went they separate ways, but they always tend to come back, you know what I'm saying.
And Greg and Keith kind of
they
locked in. They had locked in, yes sir.
Definitely.
Hey man, I was thinking that story. Dominique name.
Oh yeah,
in my brain, man. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Dominique.
And that with that, like Dominique was
he was with him all the time.
Yeah, like Dominique was the big brother that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like he gonna keep him in line. Yeah, they get out of line. Yeah. Dominique was like the big brother / father figure to them. They looked up to Dominique, and then when that happened with Dominique, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said,
I was sick, man.
Yeah, when they talked with Gerald, like what that happened, like with Lil Greg, And then the following thing, I just
because Greg was January. Dominique, I think, was March.
And that kind of like I said, I was having so much like stuff like that was like back to back. You know what I'm saying? And it just was like I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't take this. Like this is like we losing our. You know what I'm saying? We losing our kids. Like it's like just senseless.
Oh, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, because it was crazy. Like. When Gerald called me, you know what I'm saying, about the situation with Greg, and then like you say, a few months later, you know what I'm saying, I just was like, I was like, man, I'm lost for words. I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what to say. I just like, man, I'm praying for these brothers, you know what I'm saying, because they lost a special part, you know what I'm saying, like once you lose something like that, like that's a big piece, a big piece, especially when you're always together. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to see Gerald all the time, cause like we went on a trip together, like crazy. We went to Puerto Rico, so it was like a little group of us or whatever, and it was like a little traveling group. So Gerald went to Puerto Rico. It was Keith, Dominique, so we all together. You know what I'm saying? Like we took pictures and all that stuff. And I just thought about that, like everywhere that Gerald, like when he went out of town and went on trips. Dominique and Keith was always with him. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I went to a cigar shop. This is my last time seeing Dominique. Talking about that Puerto Rico trip. In a cigar shop out west. I forget my man's name. Man, I think I was on Chicago Road or something.
Chicago Avenue and or the one at Oak Park.
I think I was near Oak Park, or was I past Oak Park? I don't know. I ain't that familiar with the west
right
side.
off Madison and Harlem. Is that the one or not that one? I know that's a cigar shop.
I don't even want to get out. Right. But so we in there, we smoking a cigar, drinking, watching the game and stuff. So we go into the back to chill out, So it's me, Dominique, Gerald, and somebody else, and maybe the owner of the shop. And I was like, man, I ain't really enjoy Puerto Rico, Dominique look at me, man, and Dominique got this look. You know that look Dominique got. He's like, you ain't never been with us before.
Hey, we had a ball. I ain't gonna lie.
I said, man, I gotta go with y'all. So I was really contemplating because sometimes you just talk about it, but that was something I was like, I might have to hit Puerto Rico with them, man. That was my last conversation.
It's funny. It's funny that because like when we all went to Puerto Rico, so these guys they of age now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like we taking shots. I'm just thinking like, hey, y'all was my, I play. I'm like, hey, y'all grown now, so hey, let's go take a couple shots. Like when I say we had a blast in San Juan, we had a good time.
Yeah, he had a ball.
Yeah, because I think him and Keith, they went to some other little place called, I forgot the name. It's a spot. We ended up finding out like the day before we was about to leave. So it's like a place in San Juan. But they had like, it's like this big area, like a arena area, but it had like a whole bunch of different type of like bars and all that stuff. I'm like, man, why did we ain't find out about this like 2 days before we was about to leave?
Right.
We went in there. I went out. I'm like, oh my God, like what I'm saying, like okay. I said this is what we've been missing. So we had a good time. I was like, man,
yeah.
So we definitely had a good time.
Yeah, yes, sir, man. I think about Keith all the time. Losing Damo and losing Greg.
Yeah.
And, it's another West Side person. Gerald called me that. I can't recall his name right now, but
matter of fact, it's
trauma, man.
Just recently, a couple of days ago, you remember Anthony Mosley?
No.
His son, Lil Ant. You remember?
Oh, Ant, yeah, Lil Ant, yeah.
His
definitely.
younger brother got murdered I want to say like 3 or 4 days ago. So he lost. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean 3? Like today, Thursday, Wednesday, like Sunday?
I think it was. It had to be like Friday night.
Oh man, you got big Ant number, bro?
I don't have, I can get it for you. I don't have Anthony's number, but yeah.
Man, you brought a name back.
Yeah, Anthony Mosley, like his, the baby boy. His baby boy is 21.
Okay.
Yeah, he
because
it happened out west.
Vague memory of the little brother because we played with Ant. What I'm saying? He was on the squad with us, right?
Yeah, he played with us too.
But I barely.
Yeah, his younger brother. He was like a little bitty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
He was like little chubby kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was refereeing, and one of the guys
That's too many.
Yeah, I know one of the guys, and I just was like, man, I was like, man, because I just seen Lil Ant, like maybe like last year or whatever. So like, like him and my son Joel, they kind of like hang together every now and then or whatever. And I was like, man, not as baby boy. Like, oh my God, like I can't just imagine.
Now, but man, I need.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Man,
I can get that.
Man, that's because to get that phone call as a father, man, it's. I don't even know what words to say when it come to that.
Right.
Man. Definitely, man. Hey, but we did not give a shout out. I have on a special shirt. I'm starting to, you made me kind of feel like a star host, right? You know, David Letterman, they come out on his show, they come out with a gift, you know, they give a gift, man. I got a gift today. My man, Coach Steve,
man,
my brother, man, he came in, he said, I got a gift for you, man. What I got on here, man?
Be you, no pretending.
Talk to me,
my sister, she's trying to start like a little brand and different stuff like that. So I asked her, I was like, man, what's the meaning of that? She just said, be you, no pretending, just be your authentic self, you know, be what God created you to be. So when I cause I thought about it, I was like, before I came over here, I had told her, I said, you got some more of them shirts? Well, I said, man, I need a 2X. She's like, what you need? I say, I gotta take one to, you know what I'm saying, to my people. You know what I'm saying? I said, I can't come over there, I can't come over there not empty handed. So
man.
I was like, man, so
could have came over here with nothing.
I know,
man,
but
how much you poured into my son, man. I owe you so much, bro. But thank you for this shirt, man.
Man, oh yeah,
Be
definitely.
you.
Yep.
No pretending.
Yep. Shout outs.
If more, I think it's the hardest thing to be because peer pressure is hard for a kid. And I think to be you is scary, you know, for a kid. So they get out and they pretend to be something that they're not. If we could get out that word, just ultimately, just be you.
Yeah,
you know, because once you find you is such a peace, such a coolness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a feeling like it took me a while to get it, you know, because I remember going through that stage where I'm out here, I got on a armor because I got to protect myself out here.
Yeah.
I got to put on this thing, you know what I'm saying, to survive, you know, but man, everybody just be you, man. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it, right
like
there.
My sister was
I love this shirt.
Yeah, when she like, man, you know, like she know, like, because I wear shirts, like I have a lot, you know what I'm saying, I wear shirts that just kind of like stand out or just kind of be different or whatever. So I be like a model, you know what I'm saying? Like I market, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you get that shirt from? So I'm like, man, my sister made this. Like, I get her information, you know what I'm saying? So help her with her little business or whatever.
Yeah,
so
man, that's cool. Stick together, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a 1X next time.
1X. Oh, hey, you know what I'm
kids
saying?
got me wearing a little tight.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I ain't know. Look, I ain't.
That's how we dressed back then. With the
Right,
big
I ain't
shirt.
seen you in a minute. I'm like, I said, no, I don't know, like either, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'll be so to say. I thought about extra. I was like, nah, I'm going to the 2X, but I got you. I'll bring extra large.
Hey, I'm gonna wear these shirts.
Hey, I got you. I'm gonna tell my sister to get a couple more extra larges for you. You know what I'm saying? So,
appreciate you, sister, man. Definitely, man. Thank you for coming to Daddy's podcast.
Hey,
bro,
man, I appreciate it,
you,
man.
Coach,
Hey.
Everything you poured into my son, man.
Hey, when you
gave me some best memories,
man, when you reached out to me, I was like, yeah, like you do the, man, what? Man, come on, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Man, I was telling my students today, I was like, hey, I said, I got a podcast later on, you know what I'm saying? Don't give me no headache today. You know what I'm saying? I got things to do later on, you know? Like, I'm looking forward to the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
My man.
So, yeah.
You gave me that call like I'm 5 minutes away.
Right, exactly.
Like those pulling up on me, man. I appreciated it, man, because it's a hard walk, and I want to thank you for helping me make this walk just a little bit more easy.
Yeah, man. Anytime, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to, I can get some of the kids maybe to come out. You know what I'm saying? If they want, you want to have them on the podcast.
Yes, man, definitely. I love to talk to some of the explorers.
Right,
Man.
and it's crazy because I was thinking, I'm like, I said this because I've been thinking like for the last few years. I'm like, man, I wanted to kind of do like a barbecue or just like a big thing or something like that, just to bring like all the, you know what I'm saying, like a reunion thing or whatever. Cause I do catering now. So, you know, so it's like one of my little side hustles, like a little catering business. So I always like enjoy cooking, you know, that grill, doing different stuff that. So I was like, man, I think I need to bring these guys together just to, you know, just to reminisce, have fun, you know, crack some jokes.
I love to see Big John, man.
Yeah,
have you been in contact with him?
I'm gonna give you Big John information. Big John lives in Springfield now. He's a car salesman. Big John was quiet, but like
yeah, it's super quiet.
Big John is the man in Springfield on the car side. Like he's like one of the top salesmen in their car. They like he's on.
Shout out to you, John.
He's on Facebook. John Ashford. You can man.
Yeah, he was just like the big man.
Yeah, hey, that was our friend protector. So like shout out to Big John. I told those guys, y'all thank John because y'all did all that scrambling and cheating, you know what I'm saying, on them steals or whatever. You missed that steal, they coming to try to make that layup.
John ain't letting it come
hey,
through. John sending that back.
Watch shot, he swatted it, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Big John.
Yeah. He allowed our defense, our dogs to be dogs.
Yeah, just let them.
Keep back there too. Keep back there.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Definitely.
My man. Love,
man, I appreciate you, man.
You.
Yeah.